We've got to talk about Trump's first 100 days in office because, of course, mainstream media and their partners, the Democrat Party, have continuously tried to paint Trump's presidency as a failure, and he's barely been in office. I mean, the guy just got in office. But, of course, they continuously try to paint it as a failure. This isn't going to work. That's not going to work. This is stupid. But, you know, the whole nine. And yet, Trump has time and time again proven them wrong. It's not all doom and gloom. And I want to start this video off with this clip from Representative McClain because she perfectly annihilates this CNN host. Because what mainstream media is doing here, and it's quite obvious, and I'm pretty sure all of us can see it, but what they're doing is they're highlighting the minute negative things that are going on with the Trump administration and refusing to talk about anything that is positive. All of these positive things that are going on, they're refusing to talk about it, or they're spinning it, trying to spin it in a negative light. But I want to talk about it today. With that being said, let's dive in.
All you need to do is turn on the TV. Look at your show. It's nothing but fear-mongering. That's all the Democrats do. What's inflation doing? What's inflation? Up or down? Oh, it's down. What's the prices of eggs? Oh, they're down. What's the prices of mortgage? Oh, it's down, right? But we don't cover the positive things. We only cover the negative things to get everyone worked up. So here's two things. This could be a potential problem, but it actually could be a potential long-term solution. But when you don't want to cover the other half and all you talk about is the one half, of course that's what you're going to hear. I would prefer to give both sides of the story. That's what real news people used to do, is they would give both sides of the story. So one side of the story is, yes, potentially on the short term, listen, tariffs could cause us some discomfort, no question. But let's take a look at the long term. Do you think there's any benefits to the long term? I can share with you that there are benefits to the long term if we can get this on a level playing field. And that's what we need to do. Instead of just getting everyone all ginned up about, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Let's talk about the vision on what we're actually trying to do, which is reverse the negative force and put America on track to be respected again.
Chairwoman, thank you so much for joining us. I wish you would watch our show more often, because you would see that we do have both sides on. Specifically, that's why you're on the air today, to present that side. That's what we do here at CNN. Chairwoman.
That's what we do here at CNN. That's specifically why you're on. Why should she have to be on your network for you to tell the truth? Aren't you supposed to be the news? Like, why does she have to get on to tell your viewers the truth or both sides of a story? Isn't that exactly what you are here for? If not, then what is the point of you even being on my television? What is the point of you being on the screen if you aren't going to tell both sides of the story? You are the news, right? Some would argue that you're not the news anymore, and me being one of those folks, you're a glorified YouTube channel at this point. And that is why some news anchors have been fired or been forced to resign. Joy Reid, how you doing? Others have been taking pay cuts, right? It's because of that. But carry on. You guys will all be extinct in a very short period of time. And I can't wait to say, I told you so.
Finally, we have some good news on the economy and really the number one issue for many Americans, the cost of living. So we just learned that consumer prices in February increased by 2.8% year over year, 0.2% month over month. Both of these figures were a step in the right direction, and both were better than expected. So this is definitely very encouraging to see, because it's going to, I think, relieve some fears that inflation was perhaps re-accelerating, because this actually breaks a streak of 4 straight months where I think you could see it on the chart all the way to the right, where the inflation rate was going in the wrong direction, right? It was going higher and higher. Finally, we're seeing it dip.
On the headline, expecting up 0.3, up 0, goose egg, unched. Boy, that is progress. We haven't had a number that low. Well, we equaled it in July of last year when we had another 0. To find a lower number, you're back to October of 23 at -0.4. Strip out the all-important food and energy, down 0.1. down 1/10. That's 4/10 lower than expectations. Down 1/10 also equals July of last year. Find a lower number, you're going back to COVID times, April of 2020.
Just saying, things are going in the right direction. Things are going in the right direction. But of course, like I said, mainstream media won't report on this stuff. They won't do it, at least leftist media. There is some media that is reporting on it. And here's another clip. Jobs report.
Another, starting then with the manufacturing turnaround that President Trump has overseen. The jobs report showed that manufacturing employment rose by 10,000 jobs in President Trump's first full month in office. When you compare that to the Biden administration, Stephanie, manufacturing jobs declined by more than 100,000 over the final 12 months of the Biden administration. It averaged out to about losing 9,000 manufacturing jobs per month. The Trump administration has completely reversed, done a 180 when it came to manufacturing. Specifically, a lot of these jobs that were added this past month came in the private sector as well. So they're good paying private sector jobs. 93% of them came from the private sector. And in the final 2 years of the previous administration, a lot of the job gains were coming from the federal government. Stephanie, 1 out of every 4 new jobs in the final 2 years of the Biden administration came from the federal government. So basically, those reports were getting artificially pumped up. The Trump administration, obviously with the help of DOJ, is slamming the brakes on that, making the federal government maybe the biggest loser of this specific jobs report, along with native versus foreign-born workers. For the first time in 15 months, Stephanie, annual job growth among native-born Americans exceeded that of foreign-born workers. Another
Wild. For the first time in a year. For the first time in a year. Us Americans, our job growth exceeded foreign workers. Pretty wild, huh? And they say that the illegals weren't taking our jobs. Really. And to hear that Trump completely flipped it around. Biden was losing manufacturing jobs to the tune of over 9,000 a month. Losing. Trump gained 10,000 in a month. Completely turned it around. But Trump bad. Anything and everything he does is completely negative. It's all going downhill. Really? No, not at all.
During the last year, the Biden administration saw a loss of more than 110,000 manufacturing jobs, or 9,000 manufacturing jobs every single month. It averaged about 9,000 a month, 110,000 manufacturing jobs. During the first full month in office, we've not only stopped that manufacturing collapse, but we've begun to rapidly reverse it and get major gains. We created 10,000 manufacturing jobs in February alone. That hasn't happened in a long time. And these aren't government jobs, which actually we cut. These are private sector manufacturing jobs. So we gained all of those jobs, 10,000 jobs, and we barely started yet. It's a very unusual number. People are surprised by it. I'm even a little surprised. On auto jobs, we created almost 9,000 new jobs in the auto production field. And the reason for that is largely they think things are happening, so they're already geared up. In some cases, they had rooms in their plants, or they had empty plants that they were able to put into use quickly because they see, because of the tariffs, they don't want to be dealing with other places, and they don't want to go back and forth and around and through the borders and across Mexico border and Canada border and all. They want to have the jobs in one location.
Yes, sir. Bring the jobs back to American soil. I love it. And like it was stated earlier, yeah, in the short term, it may be a little painful, but in the long run, it's going to be extremely beneficial to us Americans. We'll have American-made products on American soil being put together by Americans. Like, it doesn't get any greater than that. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. But of course, like I said, mainstream media is continuously going to paint everything as something completely negative and bad. And now they're trying to, oh my goodness, recession, 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 even though technically we already were in a recession under the Biden administration. And then they decided to try to change the definition of what a recession actually was, simply because it wouldn't benefit Democrats if they stated we were in a recession. But we already were in one. So what are we talking about here? You know, I wonder if they'll try to change the definition of a recession now. We all know the answer to that. That one was rhetorical.
These are not unusual. I mean, during the bull market from 2009 to 2020, I think we even had 5 corrections during that period. We tend to have them every couple of years. It's not unusual. They tend to be cyclical. There are other signs, I think, in the economy that are helping real people. Wholesale inflation is down. Consumer inflation is down. Gas prices are decreasing. Mortgage rates coming down. Egg prices are $4.89 today. They were $6.55 on January 21st. We've seen manufacturing jobs in the last jobs report go up. Private investment announcements are going up. And a whole bunch of nutty climate regulations have been eviscerated by this administration. So the stock market is one measurement. It's not unusual for corrections to occur, but there's a whole bunch of green shoots that I think we could look to and say maybe there's some optimism to be had. He is articulating some parts of the strategy, and it all revolves around more manufacturing in the United States. He believes strongly in the tariffs as a stimulant to American manufacturing. By the way, he is building ships. I heard you mention that. They've got a shipbuilding strategy too. But they strongly believe that they're going to encourage people to bring back investment, and they've had a number of huge investment announcements of manufacturing in a number of different sectors. That's their view. Now, does it all happen overnight? No. And I don't think anyone should be hysterical over the stock market on one day or 6 weeks. Corrections occur, and then the markets, move around. But this idea of trying to stimulate more manufacturing in the United States, that's the plan.
I'm all for that.
And he thinks it will work.
I think it will work too. I don't see why it wouldn't work. As long as he sticks to his guns and he doesn't back away from it, this will most definitely work. This will work. It'll take some time. It's not going to happen, like he said, overnight. Of course not. That's common sense. Like, duh. That can't happen overnight, But I do think we are on the way to an economic boom. I do believe that. Is it going to happen this year? Probably not. Okay. May not even happen next year. It may take until Trump's 3rd year for everything to really take off, But I do believe eventually it will happen. 100%. I definitely believe that. Okay. Scott Jennings just said, I couldn't think of his name there for a second. Like Scott Jennings just said, there have been major investments back into America. A lot of companies are already planning on bringing their manufacturing back to American soil. So I don't see why there wouldn't be an economic boom. And then you have Lee Zeldin, who has deregulated things quite a bit, which will really, really open things up. Check it out.
Today, I'm pleased to make the largest deregulatory announcement in U.S. history. The Environmental Protection Agency is initiating 31 historic actions to fulfill President Trump's promise to unleash American energy, revitalize our auto industry, restore the rule of law, and give power back to the states. EPA will be reconsidering many suffocating rules that restrict nearly every sector of our economy and cost Americans trillions of dollars. Our actions include the Biden administration's deeply flawed Clean Power Plan 2.0, mercury and air toxic standards, Quad O BC, particulate matter 2.5, light, medium, and heavy car and truck rules, NESHAPs, and the so-called social cost of carbon. To advance cooperative federalism, EPA will partner with states that were universally rejected by the last administration's Good Neighbor rule. Among many other actions, today's momentous day also includes the 2009 endangerment finding, along with all actions that rely on it. I've been told the endangerment finding is considered the holy grail of the climate change religion. For me, the U.S. Constitution and the laws of this nation will be strictly interpreted and followed, no exceptions. Today, the Green New Scam ends as the EPA does its part to usher in the golden age of American success.
The Green New Scam ends. Yeah, and a perfect example of the Green New Scam are those stupid, extremely stupid. Have you guys seen the new Chargers? Like the like I think they're Chargers or Demons. The muscle cars, that used to have what were they? The Red Eyes and the Hellcats and whatnot. And then Biden wanted to push for the whole green new scam thing, and so they all converted to electric, and now they have speakers as tailpipes. So when they start up, it's just like this weird, just disgusting sound coming out of the back of the car. Like, bro, what's the point of putting speakers in there? Just let it be silent. Yeah, get rid of those things. Anybody else agree with me? Listen, those things look and sound so terrible to me. Am I the only one? Like, bro, you can't have a muscle car that's electric. Like, that just, it just doesn't add up to me. Get rid of the batteries, bro. Get rid of the batteries. Put that engine back in that thing. Let it roar. I like the sound of an engine, like a good cold start. Is that just me? Am I? Y'all let me know. I can't be the only one, right? That loves a good cold start. But goodness gracious, them cold starts on an electric car with some speakers as mufflers. Golly, that is, talk about a slap in the face. Like, who are you kidding, bro? Like, this sounds terrible. Anyway, America's on the up and up, baby. And Trump's leading the way. And I can't wait to see it through. Let me know what y'all think about all of this in the comment section below. Peace and love. I'm out.